pleasure to hear your experience. I never heard this before, and I can assure you it's perfect what you say how to do business in Brazil. I've been working for Petrobras for 16 years, and in my career in Petrobras, I've been doing some work with Japanese companies, some opportunities with some American companies, and I saw all of that. It's very important to understand culture, especially our culture. Brazil is a group of many different personalities. We have indigenous people, we have our black people come from Africa, which is Brazil. We have Portuguese, we have a lot of European, Italian, German, and we have a lot of Japanese as well. So it's a mixture. So Brazil has a unique culture, and sometimes when you see a foreign company come to Brazil, and think this Japanese Brazilian company looks like Japanese, but it's not Japanese, it's Brazilian Japanese. Yeah, totally different. And sometimes look some Brazilian company and say, I'm going to do business with them, I want to do business with them, but see it behind, take a time. So the time is very important in Brazil. You should have time for everything. Don't need to rush. So let me talk a little bit about Petrobras. So I'm managing director here, Petrobras Singapore. Petrobras Singapore is a subsidiary of Petrobras. And we are here for doing trading. We are a trading company here, buying and selling oil, crude, and products. We sell our crude oil here in the region. We buy gas oil, gasoline, back to Brazil. We sell a lot of fuel oil. We bring fuel oil to Brazil to sell out here. We are one of the biggest players in the bunker business as well. And we are introduced in Asia ethanol. We are bringing ethanol to Brazil to sell in the region. And it's amazing. It's the same. If you want to do business in Asia, you should be here in Singapore. You should be here in the Asia. It's impossible to do business here, being in Brazil. At the same, you cannot do business in Brazil being here. You should be in Brazil. This is the most important point, because it's not just get the right partner, but the regulatory framework all the time is changing. All the political standards, the investment, the mood, all the time is changing. You are not to get the right Brazilian mood here. You should be there. So a little bit disclaimer, so we can read later. Let's explain who is Petrobras today. We started in 1953. The company, as a state-owned company, and along this trajectory, Petrobras has changed so much. Today, in the last year, 2010, we have done a very important capitalization in the market, and we got a very huge amount of money. So this capitalization is very important for what we are foreseeing in the future, which is going to be the pre-salt. All the investment we are doing in Brazil to extract more crude oil from our basins. This is our, let's say, position around the world. Our main position is here in Brazil and South America. We have a business refinery here in the United States. We have many explorations here in Africa, Angola, and Nigeria. We have here in India, Iran, and Pakistan, China. We have an office in China, We have a refinery in Okinawa, Japan. We are here in Singapore, and we have some oil exploration here in Australia, in New Zealand. So we are covering all the globe. But today, Petrobras is concentrate all the investment here in Brazil. to exploit the pre-salt basin. So the company works in many different areas of oil business. We have oil exploration and production. We have all the refining, trading, and marketing, distribution system in Brazil and another South American countries, gas and power as well, international area, 25 countries, exploration, refining, petrochemicals, and the new one, biofuels. We are investing a lot on biofuels. So Petrobras is covering all the oil and gas business today. So that's why it's very important to understand that Petrobras is so big that if you want to look for opportunity, every department of that has a specific target, the right person to do business. So if you are looking for some opportunities to supply service on oil exploration, we have the right people here, and for foreigners in other countries we have here. If you are looking at some opportunities on biofuels, this is the right area, which is a different company separated from Petrobras. So it's a huge organization, and I know that some of you have some relationship here with Petrobras of the oil rings production that we have here. We have just to finalize here, return back to Brazil to start working. So this is our position in the world in the oil business. So if you see it in terms of oil gas production, Petrobras is just behind, I cannot read from here, those
CBS.
Yeah, those other companies. So this is Shell, BP, Royal Dutch Shell.
CBS.
Yes, CBS, Chevron.
Chevron.
And if you hear for program reserves here, we are just behind BP and the Royal Dutch Shell. This is Exxon. Okay. If you see in terms of refinery capacity, we are almost the same size of Total, and we just passed Chevron. And you see in terms of market cap, we are just behind of ExxonMobil. So that's why the real size of Petrobras. In terms of oil exploration, what you can see that since we started to have deep water exploration, we have been within all the longest oil exploration deep sea. It's Petrobras today is one of the largest oil explorers of deep water. And if you see here, in terms of offshore production facilities, we have 45. And our pre-salt, which is a huge amount of reserve of oil, crude oil, all the development is going to be on the deep water. That's why Petrobras is making a lot of effort to start to have production of this basin and supply the world. If you take a look about what's going on in terms of Brazil, Brazil is growing very fast. In the last 5 years, it was amazing how we have been growing. So if you take a look in terms of oil consumption, Brazil is just behind US. You have here US, China, Japan, and India. So we jumped all those states here. And you see here 2014. In terms of total oil consumption, Brazil is the blue one here, is very, very fast. The increase, if you see the word here. So that's why all this consumption comes from the development, internal development. And the high consumption that we have in Brazil is diesel, gas oil, jet fuel, and now gasoline with ethanol. let's say, in terms of incremental oil production, this is very important to see what is behind of this figure, because if you see it, the main supply is Saudi Arabia, right? Brazil is just behind. We are no OPEC participation. So the most reliable country to supply, to replace some oil to the world is going to be Brazil. So everybody, every country, every company who works for this business is looking Brazil as opportunity. This is very important, not just for Singapore, but for Chinese, Norwegian, American, French, Italian. Everybody's looking Brazil as opportunity to have business there. And you need other companies to exploit these huge reserves. If you see our business plan that is going to be revealed by this year, by the end of this year, we are foreseeing $224 billion of investment on this period. This is a huge investment, not just of oil production, exploration, but we have refineries, we have new biofuel units production. You have more pipelines, we are going to have more petrochemicals units. So it's the huge investment they are foreseeing for those 4 years. What we are looking in terms of our position in this market, how it has been in the future of Petrobras. If you see ExxonMobil, it is the growth of oil production they have in the industry. If you see this one, this is BP. This is Petrobras in 2009. This is what we are looking for 2020. We are expanding very fast our oil production. That's why a lot of companies are looking Brazil at the moment and see this is a huge opportunity to have business there. In terms of oil exploration, I brought here some projects. Don't ask me so much about that because I'm not following day by day all those, okay? But what we can see is for 2010, we have all those projects come around in terms of oil rings and platforms. You have those basins being exploited. One of them has been just let the start production is Lula, and we have Carioca, we have this one here, Carioca Northeast, and all those fields is going to be produced by 2014. So we are jumping our oil production around 2,000 barrels per day by almost 3,000. Yeah. This is very, very important. The most exciting topic in Brazil in the oil industry is the pre-salt base and the timeline. So we are hoping to, we are now in this phase here, exploring and start the Lula pilot project. After that, we start the phase 1, which we will bring to have 1.8 million barrels of oil per day production. So it's a huge investment we are doing on the supply and service. Who is from this industry knows what we are talking about. But to achieve that, Brazilian government create a new regulatory model. That's why it's very important to be part of this environment in Brazil. It's impossible to be here and understand what's going on there. So the system that we are going to adopt for this production is going to be a production share agreement, which is totally different what we have been doing at the moment. It's going to be produced 100% by Petrobras as an operator of this field. Okay, but Petrobras can work together with other companies to supply and have all those investments. Part of investment of government in these productions come from transfer of rights with compensation of up to 5 billion barrels of oil. So this is very important. This is the current concession model. It's very simple. It's quite a little complicated to understand. So if you need more information, please contact me, because it's not simple to explain in a few minutes. So production share agreements is going to be the very strong mechanism to have oil exploration in Brazil. If you have intention to work on production share agreements, it's very important to have a lawyer together with you, otherwise you are not going to achieve. It's a huge negotiation. And it's going to be like companies and government. The winning bidder, the Brazilian government, will not assume the risk of activities. Prior to contract, the government may evaluate the potential of the areas and may contract Petrobras directly. What the Brazilian government is trying to say that, okay, if you want to go there, I'm not going to take the risk is going to be yours. As soon as you have the oil, we are going to share the production of this oil. It's totally different of the system that we have for royalties. All important opportunity is new technology. All those new technology has been applied and developed by Petrobras for the seismic area, for exploration, for vertical separation and pumping system for deep water. This is being used for different basin, Bonito, subsea multi-phase pumping system, raw water injection, and we have developed different kinds of technology. So technology is very important now. This is another opportunity. I don't know if it's possible for Singapore to work with us on these projects. And if you see, we have a research center, SAMPS, who develop all those technology together with other companies like Schlumberger, Baker Hughes, FMC Technology, Brazilian company using Minas, Cameron, General Electric, Halliburton, and so on. So it is very important to have technology to get all those oils. If you see the domination of those oil production and the pre-salt is located here, all those are blocks of oil production in Brazil. The main block is that, which is very located close to the main consumption area. So for us, Petrobras, it's very important to say that we have a very dominant position here in the downstream. It's a growing market. It's a lot of logistics synergy. So Brazil is growing, needs more logistics to bring those oil to process here and for consumption here as well. And stable cash flow. This is bringing stable cash flow for everyone who is going to invest. And despite of that, we are investing in new refineries. We have 4 new refineries undergoing. We have this in north state of Brazil, Maranhão. The second one in Fortaleza. This is going to be in Pernambuco. This is going to be in Rio de Janeiro. So our idea is not to export just oil, but export final products. So diesel, jet fuel, gasoline, and so on. Those are our targets for biofuels. We are improving our production of ethanol production done by Petrobras. So in 4 years, almost 200%. And ethanol export, we are working very hard to increase our export on ethanol, a production capacity of biodiesel in Brazil. It's very important to say that this biodiesel production is part of the Brazilian government to create jobs. Our main target is job creation. There are a lot of investments behind with the Brazilian government so that we can bring the local population to produce those seeds, which is going to become biodiesel. Brazil economy, just what's going on in terms of GDP. I think our friend from Bank of Brazil is going to go deep on that. So our GDP 2008 was that. This is the result of 2008 financial crisis. And we return back. This is our forecast. International reserves is quite high at the moment. Trade balance is getting moment of equilibrium, and we are looking for the Brazilian debt is falling down. So those figures just came to say that Brazil is going to invest a lot on the oil. Any company interested to have investment there should keep in mind, I have to go to Brazil. I can give some directions here, but it's going to be very tough to talk back to Brazil because now they are sleeping. When you're all okay, sleep, they are awake. So it's very important to go there, talk with many companies, be with Petrobras there, those guys in charge of those investments undergoing there, so that we have the right picture and how we can be part of this development. Thank you very much.